Hello, my friends. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Jill, and I'm an intuitive eating counselor and a movement and wellness educator. And I have never done a Facebook Live video before, so bear with me. I'm not much of a social media junkie, but I do realize the value in sharing my knowledge with you. So I don't know if I'll ever get used to talking to a camera, so I'll just have to imagine your beautiful faces there. I was certified as an intuitive eating counselor. It's probably been, 10 to 12 years ago. And if you're not familiar with intuitive eating, it's a paradigm that helps you heal your relationship with food and your body. So it's definitely not a diet. It's very grounded in self-care. So it's based, well, let me just backtrack a little bit. It was written by two dietitians who they're based out of California, and they recognized pretty early on that the typical ways of helping someone either reconnect to their food needs or even approach weight loss was not sustainable. So whether it was counting calories or an exchange system or whatever the current diet fad was at the moment. So right now that might be, I don't know, paleo or raw foods or something that requires you to follow an external set of rules. So it's something that's not intrinsically motivated. Perhaps the initiation of it is intrinsically motivated, like the decision to embark on the dieting journey. But then once you've actually made that decision, there's a bit of your internal locus of control that you give over to the rule following. And for most people, that does not end in success, either in terms of weight loss or self-esteem or just kind of a general sense of calm during the day as you go about your day and make decisions as you encounter food needs that arise during the day, like, oh crap, I'm hungry, what am I going to eat? Or now I'm satisfied, I need to stop. Or I'm going somewhere social, what am I going to eat? All of those decisions that you encounter on a daily basis can elicit panic in you if you're really aligned with rule following. So just to give you a little bit of an overview of intuitive eating, it's based around these 10 kind of guidelines or principles. So I might not say them in the exact order, but principle 1 is to reject the diet mentality. So that's letting go of those external rule following methodologies. And then principle 2 is to honor your hunger. So as I go through these, this is just an overview. Each of these areas has heaps of depth to it. So, you can imagine if you've always followed external sets of food rules, or if you've chosen to not eat when you're hungry, it can sometimes be challenging to even identify if you're hungry or not. And then principle 3 is making peace with food. 4 is challenging the food police. So the food police is kind of all those external voices that don't help you listen to yourself. And I don't mean that in kind of a split personality or a psychotic manner, but those external media messages, whether they're well-intentioned or not, kind of wreak havoc with your ability to listen to yourself and what might be right for you. So that's kind of food police. Food police can also be self-talk, your own self-talk, your own voices surrounding food that are not helpful. Usually that tone and the quality of your own food police voices are harsh, shame-based, inflexible, if that makes sense. So then we also kind of move on to feeling your fullness, which is the flip side of honoring your hunger. And someone might be pretty good at one end of the spectrum and not so good at the other. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's, the capacity to, to be aligned with yourself at both ends of the eating spectrum, either recognizing your hunger and choosing to honor it, or feeling your fullness. Then let's see, then we come to making choices for yourself that are satisfying. So that's called discovering the satisfaction factor. Not eating things to punish yourself or things that you don't enjoy, and being present during an eating experience so that you actually recognize if you're enjoying it or not. Sometimes we have an idea in our head that we like something when we don't even take time to taste it, and maybe we don't like it, or maybe the reverse is true as well. And then let's see, moving on to the next principle, which would be respecting your body. And I always say, you don't have to like where you're at right now, but you don't get to abuse yourself either. So also accepting something does not mean that there's not room for change. And then moving on to coping with your emotions without using food, which is super tricky. I know that can be very challenging. That's a whole universe, so I probably won't spend too much time talking about it right now. And then, what am I skipping here? Honoring your health with gentle nutrition and some gentle movement as well. And I may have missed one, but it's okay. It's not about the details at this point. I just want you to have a sense for what the essence of intuitive eating is. And so to kind of summarize that, the essence is grounded in, again, self-care and being present. And so when you're present in your food life, which is one of your most foundational needs, that carries over into other areas of your life as well and supports other needs. So I talk a little bit about the difference between logistical needs, like foundational needs, and logistical needs. So foundational needs are things like making sure that you're getting quality movement experiences during the day, making sure that you're present in your food life, assessing the quality of your breathing and your social interactions. And then logistical needs would be things like, do you have transportation to get to work? Do you have enough money to pay your rent? But you can see how foundational needs support logistical needs. And you might be good at looking after some of your foundational needs and not others. And you might be good at looking after some of your logistical needs and not others. So everyone kind of has areas that they excel in and areas that are more challenged. So anyway, that just gives you a little bit of a glimpse of the intuitive eating model. If you're at all interested in learning more about the intuitive eating paradigm, you can read the book. So it's of course available on Amazon. It's just called Intuitive Eating. I should have grabbed my copy, but I don't have it right here in front of me. So it's Intuitive Eating by Evelyn Tribole and Elise Resch, and I'll maybe see if I can leave that in the comments here without being too distracting. It has a subtitle. It's called A Revolutionary Program That Works, but I don't know if that's the best. Maybe that's a good way of describing it, but nonetheless, that's what it is. And it's also available in an ebook format if you have a Kindle or you want to read it on your phone. So that's one way to learn more. You can also learn more. I have kind of some brief overviews on my blog that goes into a little more detail about each of the principles. Of course, the book is going to be more thorough. And then if you decide that you need some extra support, I do offer online intuitive eating counseling sessions, coaching sessions, one-on-one. So I'll leave the link. I'll see if I can round up and leave that link below or repost it. I wasn't very organized. Sorry, this is the first time I've ever done this, so it's a definite learning curve. So let's see, there's the name of the book, and if you'd like to get on my waiting list to work with me one-on-one, you can sign up for that on my website as well. So I will leave you that link. If you're interested and feel like it's helpful to see my face and have me answer some questions, some intuitive eating questions that you have, I'd be happy to do that. You can email me those questions at hello@healwithjill.com. I'll actually go ahead and leave that as well in the comments. I understand why people have virtual assistants now. So that's probably enough for today. I think just kind of digest that, see if it resonates with you. If you're feeling either kind of isolated in your food life, or you have confusion, or you have anxiety in your food life, or you have disconnect where you just kind of are not even present with it at all, then the intuitive eating model can be really helpful for that. So I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks for joining me today. Take care for now. Bye.